This week we're starting a new series that I'm calling Fancy Stitch Combos. And in this series we'll be taking the most basic elements like simple increases and decreases and some other techniques and combining them together to create really different looking and pretty fabrics. In this series I of course want to show you how to work the technique, but I also want to show you what the fabric looks like, the fabric you're creating looks like from the back as well as the front to help you decide if you want to use this stitch in different projects. And I'll let you know if the fabric is one that's going to lie flat or if it's going to curl up when it's done, because you certainly don't want to make a scarf or a dishcloth or something out of a stitch that's going to curl up when it's finished. You want it to be flat. And this week we're starting out with the purse stitch. And when you hear the name the purse stitch, you might be thinking, okay, that's a stitch that's not going to have any give to it. It's going to be a tight stitch with no give. You can make a purse out of it and load it up with heavy things and it will hold fast. It's not the case. It's a totally stretchy stitch. I don't know why it's called the purse stitch, but it's a very cool stitch. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here it is in a very bulky example. This is knit with bulky yarn and size 10.5 US needles. And it's such a cool stitch. I love it when a stitch lies flat and it's identical on both sides. So this would be appropriate for scarves, dishcloths, placemats, anything that you need to not curl and lie flat. And this is in a very bulky yarn. You see that we have this horizontal stripe running through it and these little knots. And after I knit this, I was pretty excited to see it in different gauges. And here it is in worsted weight yarn and size 7 needles, I believe. And I'll show you a little trick I did here. I tied a knot to tell me the size of the needles I used. All I have to do is feel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I used a size 7 needle on this swatch. And in this example, it is a little bit lacier. The needle and yarn size is just different enough where you can see the holes in the work a little bit better. And of course, again, same on both sides. And after I made this, I thought, I want to see this in a small gauge with a little bit of a shinier yarn. And look how pretty this is. And this one's knit with a 1, 2, 3 size needle in DK weight yarn. I really like the look of this. Okay. And I love it that it's so simple. The instructions for this stitch will be in the video description below as well as on my website. We're going to start off with a regular Longtail cast on. And if you need a review of the Longtail cast on, I'll give you a link right here. Regular normal cast on, you want to cast on an even number of stitches. The first stitch is a selvage edge. It's just going to be knit one. The next stitch is a yarn over, and all you're going to do is pull the yarn forward between the two needles and then work the next stitch, which is slip, slip, knit, SSK. And to work that stitch, you put your needle in as if to knit, slip that stitch over without working it, put your needle in the next stitch as if to knit, slip that stitch over without working it, then take the tip of your left needle and put it into the front of those two stitches. Okay, we're now in position to knit these two stitches through the back loop. And we have this yarn over. It's going to give us a loop on the needle here as we work this next stitch. Okay, that's the whole stitch combination. It's yarn over, SSK. So I pull the yarn forward between the two needles, SSK, and that's it. And if you need a review, a slower review of SSK to really get it, I'll give you a link right here. Yarn between the two needles, slip, slip, knit them through the back loop. And you continue this all the way across your work until you have just one stitch left. And then that's the other selvage edge. You're just going to knit that stitch. Then you turn the work and do the same thing. The first and last stitches are just knit, and then it's yarn over, SSK the rest of the way. Knit the first one, yarn over, SSK. This stitch ends up going pretty quickly, meaning that it is quick to work and it builds fabric pretty quickly. And when you finish with this, getting it however big you want it, you will just do a normal bind off, nothing fancy. Whoops, I'm splitting the yarn here, which is good because it reminds me of a couple other things I want to tell you. If you're a really tight knitter, you're going to benefit from super slick needles to work this stitch. After the first row, the SSKs in the second and all subsequent rows involve using the yarn over in the SSK stitch. You're going to have a difficult time getting your needle in there unless you're using sharp metal needles. If you're a tight knitter, even someone who's not a tight knitter might benefit from those needles. Also, this fabric, I showed you how it looks in a few different yarn needle combinations, but this takes on a much lacier look. The bigger the needles, the finer the yarn. Just something to keep in mind. Good luck.